So, what's the one single skill that can totally transform your career, your relationships, and even the way you see yourself? Today, we're going to break down the art of communication, and I think you'll be surprised by what we find.
First things first, let's talk about why this is so important. Because if you've ever thought your technical skills are what matter most, well, the research tells a totally different story. Get this, a massive 85% of our success at work is directly tied to our communication skills. Only 15% comes from our technical know-how. That is a huge difference, and it's a super clear sign of where we should be focusing our energy.
And this is exactly where a lot of us get it wrong. We think we need a bigger vocabulary or perfect grammar, but that's not it at all. Communication isn't a performance, right? The real goal, the whole point of it, is just to build a genuine connection with another person. Okay, I want to bust a huge myth right now. There's this idea that you're either born a great communicator or you're not. That is just not true. This isn't some kind of magical talent you have or you don't. It is a science-based skill. And just like any other skill, you can learn it, you can practice it, and you can absolutely master it. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to break it all down into three core pillars. We'll start with active listening, then move on to powerful body language, and finish up with confident speaking. And at the end, we'll see how you can bring all of these together to build what I like to call your communication muscle. All right, let's get into it.
We're going to start with the one that, honestly, most people just skip right over. Active listening. Think of this as your secret weapon. It's the skill that makes people remember you and actually like you. And the crazy thing is, you barely have to say a word. I mean, think about the last conversation you had. Were you really, truly hearing what the other person was saying? Or were you just kind of waiting for them to take a breath so you could jump in with your point? This quote just hits the nail on the head. So much of the time, we're not listening at all. We're just reloading for our turn to talk. That's the habit we've got to break. So, how do we do that? It actually comes down to three really simple, practical steps. First, try the 2-second rule. When someone stops talking, just wait 2 full seconds before you respond. It feels like an eternity at first, but it shows them you're actually thinking about what they said. Second, repeat and summarize. Say something like, okay, so what I'm hearing is, it's like magic. It proves you were paying attention. And third, ask open-ended questions. Use words like how or why to show them you're curious and want to go deeper.
All right, so once you've got your listening game on point, we can focus on what you're communicating when you're not saying anything at all. This is pillar 2, body language. And trust me, the science here is crystal clear. How you look speaks way louder than what you say. Okay, get ready for this, because this is probably one of the most mind-blowing findings in communication research. When we're talking to someone, a full 55% of the impact of our message comes from our body language. Another 38% is our tone of voice. And our actual words, the words we stress over, they make up a tiny 7% of the impact. I mean, when you see it like that, it changes everything, right?
So let's make that 55% work for you, not against you. It's a simple switch. Instead of those weak signals like slumped shoulders or hiding your hands, you want to project confidence. Pull those shoulders back. Try to make eye contact about 70% of the time. That's the sweet spot that feels engaged without being intimidating. And let your hands move naturally. These little physical tweaks make a world of difference in how people see you.
Okay, so we've tuned our ears and we've adjusted our posture. Now it's time to focus on the words themselves with our final pillar, confident speaking. And the key here isn't about being loud or using fancy words. It's simply about clarity.
And it's so important that we define this the right way. Confident speaking is not about talking fast or trying to sound smart with complicated jargon. Nope. It's just the ability to get your point across clearly so that people actually understand you. That's it.
So how can you start speaking with more clarity, like today? Here are 4 practical things to try. First, give your thoughts some structure. Use a simple framework. Here's my point, here's my reason, and here's my example. Second, use your voice like an instrument. Change your pitch and volume so you don't sound monotone. Third, work on cutting out those filler words, the ums and ahs. A moment of silence is always more powerful. And finally, and I know this can feel a little weird, but practice by recording yourself. It's the fastest way to get better.
So we've covered our 3 pillars: active listening, powerful body language, and confident speaking. Now let's talk about how to actually put it all together in your day-to-day life. And if you only take one single idea away from all of this, please let it be this one. Your communication skill is not something you're stuck with. It is a muscle. And the more you consciously use these little techniques, the 2-second pause in this conversation, the confident posture in that meeting, the stronger and more natural it all becomes.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question. A challenge, really. You don't have to do all of this overnight. Just pick one thing. Is it going to be the 2-second rule, holding your shoulders back, or maybe trying to eliminate those filler words? The most important step is always the next one. So, which one will you practice today?